Hello my friends, and welcome to an uncharacteristically late night edition of my frequencies. It is some ungodly hour in the night or morning, but it's a full moon tonight, and due to a video made very recently by a guy I've been following on YouTube for some time now. His channel was called, I think it was Tom Eden, you may know him as, but I think he's now Tom My 5D or Tommy 5D, depending on which way you read it. And he's been talking about the buck full moon that's going on at the moment. I think it was actually at its peak last night, but it's still around 99% of a full moon tonight. It's actually not a particularly good night for moon gazing because it's about 100% cloud cover up there right now. I checked before I left, but I still wanted to come up here anyway because I think I'll still be able to spot a light patch in the sky. And of course, it's not just about being able to see the moon, is it? You can feel its influence, right? Because we all believe in gravity, and we all believe that the moon does the tides through the action of gravity, right? And of course, in that same way, the rhythmic motion of the moon overhead, over the earth, is acting upon all liquids, and most of what your body's made of is water, right? And I believe that the brain, which we would say is the sort of where we believe our consciousness is located, well, that's an even higher percentage by mass of water, right? And that's being rhythmically stimulated, let's say, by the motion of the moon over our head. You know, at least this is what the commonly held Newtonian model of how physical reality operates. That's what's happening. So even if we can't see the moon, holy shit. Right, I'm in the wheat field. The fucking thing is, whenever you hear motion at night in Dorset, where I'm from, you think, oh, it's a deer. But when you hear motion at night in France, you think, oh my god, it could be a fucking sanglier, a wild pig, right? I do not want to get into a disagreement with a wild pig. So yeah, what I was saying about cloud cover, even if I can't see the moon, I can feel it. There's not a lot I can do about the lighting, I'm afraid. But what I am going to do is resurrect a little magic spell that I cast when I first came to Avalon. The reason I did this is because I saw Devin Maggi doing this back in February, and that was when I came to Avalon, right? That was the time when I came here. So I thought, you know what, I need to draw a line under my previous situation, my previous sort of state of being, and this new one, and basically get clear about what it's about and what I want it to entail. So I set about creating these pieces of paper that I'm going to show you now, and basically I wanted to make it more of like an artistic thing rather than just writing. So I illustrated all my bits of paper, and then I worked out what my statements were going to be, my kind of manifestations, right? So I don't really subscribe to this idea of dark and light magic. I know people talk about it in those terms, but for me, the intent is everything. And you know, I've never bothered with this kind of stuff because I didn't really know what I was doing. I know plenty of people who do use magic of varying kinds, and I've been to these pagan festivals and I've made a lot of friends who use this stuff naturally, day to day. You know, I was thinking about what I wanted to write, and when I did sit down to write, I wrote out 20 statements in about, I think I got 18 of them in about 3 or 4 minutes. They were already in my mind, and I just needed to crystallize them, to put them down into words, make them physical, right? And then a couple others I sort of worked on later, but this is basically off the top of my head how I was feeling in February when I first came to Avalon And the first night that I created them, I actually took them outside. It was a full moon that night, and I read them to the moon. I felt a very strong sense of acknowledgement that came from both within and without at the same time. So there's great power when you speak. Okay, you're about to find out why I've come to a wheat field in the middle of a forest on a hilltop outside of town, because I'm going to get as loud as I can be, right? Speaking confidently to the sanglier, the clouds, and hopefully a moon up here somewhere. This is a universal declaration of personal sovereignty made in alignment with the nameless divine creator originator, that which tangibly manifests through various historical and contemporary figures as Christ consciousness. In the beginning was the Word. This is true magic, the wielding of which is the divine right of any living soul who will accept such responsibility. Our words create our worlds. I am truly a living soul who goes by the name Jason in this incarnation. I intend to create heaven on earth for tous les pervades in this place called Avalon. I 100% claim true knowledge of my higher self, that I might better serve the pervades and all those whom come into contact with our lives and the human family at large. I reclaim true personal sovereignty over my entire being on all planes of existence. I hereby rescind all contractual obligations against my soul made before or during this incarnation. My soul is not, nor has it ever been, the legal property of the Roman Church or of the Crown Corporation. Nothing obtained through deception cannot be reclaimed at will by its rightful owner. No deception can prevail, and those who have perpetrated deception against the human race will and are being exposed. I withdraw all consent, whether presumed or actual, for parasites, energetic or otherwise, to draw energy from my being on any plane of existence. This includes, but is not limited to, worms, harmful bacteria, demons, energy parasites, destructive mental patterns, malevolent spirits, governments, banks, courts, and other similar entities of all categories. I hereby declare myself to be in a love relationship with the divine universe. This is evident in my relationship with Julie, who is the divine feminine principle made manifest in my life as I manifest the divine masculine in hers. I reintegrate all my shadows into the single truth that is Jason. In doing so, I end all pain, all suffering, all dysfunction, all illusion. I am whole, I am complete, I am one. I agree to end psychological time and enter the fifth dimensional state of awareness as my default state of being. This is both the sovereign right and the highest purpose of all living souls. This is the end of needless mind-bound suffering for the individual and for the human race as a whole. I agree to be a channel for this divine truth and an agent for its implementation in this place called Avalon and in the wider world. I am strong, I am fully healed, I am beautiful beyond measure, which is how an aligned human being naturally appears at all stages of life. Alignment equals true beauty. I hereby decree an immediate end to all internal conflict. Inflammation must hereby cease to be present in my physical body. No longer will I keep secrets from myself. Full disclosure, full integration is my desire. Full access to my abilities that I might help create the new world we all want to see. This body is my home for the duration of this leg of the journey. I feel safe and at ease in this body. I love and accept myself 100%. I surrender to the present moment and I am fully present. I offer no resistance to what is. The illusion of suffering forces us out of our unconscious state. All of these things are so because I have said them. The power of the nameless divine creator originator resides within me just as it does within all living souls. When we speak, it hears. So, I did wait for some time to see if a gap in the clouds would come across and reveal the moon, but it didn't, unfortunately. Thanks for joining me if you've watched to the end. And thank you to Tom for consistently posting reminders of what is this most important process that many of us are undergoing. I really do appreciate your message, brother, and I really will endeavour to make this journey and this process a more prevalent topic of discussion on my channel.